What is up, YouTube? I'm DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Today I got a reaction for you guys. This is something that relates to the current month, which is October. Everybody knows this is supposed to be the spooky month with Halloween and everything else, or Beggar's Night, depending on which part of the United States you're on. This video was created by dburk321, and it is called... make sure I got everything right first. It is called The Creepiest Interviews Ever Conducted. Now, these are interviews that were conducted with very notorious individuals, probably serial killers, things like that. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Before I go and get into this, I want you guys to know this video looks like it was demonetized on DaBurk's channel. So if you have a chance, I mean, go and check it out at their original channel. If there's a way that this video itself doesn't get demonetized, but if it gets copyright claimed, this could be a way to try to get money into DaBurk through the back, like the back door. But in case this video doesn't get copyright claimed, go to the original video, watch the original first before you watch this reaction. That way you can go ahead and give them the content and ad revenue that they deserve. Even though it's demonetized, sometimes ads will still pop up, but only from specific companies, I believe. Anyway, let's go ahead and check this out and see what it has to offer.
Interviews are an age-old way of entering the minds of criminals. Whether it be through interrogations, interviews with the media, or conversations with specialists, there have been several different clips that have spread of terrible people giving interesting and thought-provoking interviews. So that's what we're going to be having a look at today. So here are the creepiest interviews ever conducted. Number 1. Gary Ridgway is widely considered to be the worst and most prolific serial killer in American history. He was convicted of killing 49 people, but confessed to killing 71, a number that is higher than any other serial killer in the United States.
Well, it depends, because I know Ted Bundy, he talked about killing like over 100 some girls. A lot of times, like after a serial killer has been captured, I mean, it's not like confessing to more crimes is going to have any impact on your sentencing, because you're already probably going to get sentenced for the rest of your life. So throwing on more deaths on your toll isn't going to like impact you in any way. The only thing it really does is add to your notoriety. So a lot of serial killers will inflate their numbers to try to appear more notorious. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times they do have this stuff for attention. Like, you ever heard stories of serial killers sending letters to the police and stuff, bragging about how great they are and how they can't be caught and they're so smart and this, that, and the other. A lot of them just want to feel like they're above other people, like narcissistic things like that. So they'll inflate their numbers. So just because he said he killed 70 people, that does not mean that's the case. He could be lying, he could be telling the truth, but you got to take it with a grain of salt either way.
Obviously, people were quite fascinated with Ridgway, and a while after his conviction, an interview was conducted with him where he talked about a number of things, from killing small animals to fantasizing about killing his own mother. He goes into detail about some of the things that made him the monster that he is, and surprisingly, he is quite soft-spoken and reserved. Given the circumstance, the interview isn't very professional, and Ridgway is talked into giving many answers that he may have ignored otherwise. However, it's still an interesting deep dive into the mind of a monster.
So I'm guessing when they say giving answers, does that mean that the interviewer was asking leading questions? It would be nice if there was like a link somewhere with like that goes straight to all these actual interviews. It might be in there. I didn't have a chance to look around too much. But after this video is over, I'm going to go to the description and see if there's any links to the original interviews themselves.
Living things?
Living things, killing animals.
Okay.
Killing animals. I stabbed a kid one time. Boy was playing, I stabbed him in the side. And didn't kill him. But that's what I took my aggression on. I couldn't take it on my mom. I had to take it on my animals and
how many animals
kids.
Did you kill?
Oh, I killed a lot of birds, but one cat suffocated it in a...
Okay, but walk me through what you were going to do with the knife in your head to your mother.
Cut her throat.
Number 2.
I wonder what type of mom he actually had, because there's some there's a stereotype that serial killers come from 100% broken homes, and I would say for the majority of them that's probably true, but there have been serial killers that had normal upbringings. It's just that there was something different wired in their brain that caused them to think certain ways. So I'm wondering, like, is his mom, I don't know, like, is his mom one of those Norman Bates type of moms, or was she just regular? Maybe he just had weird feelings related to his mom that, you know, he wanted to do stuff to her and shit. I don't know. But I don't know, it's when I get into subjects like this, it makes me like really think, like trying to get into their head, like, okay, what causes them to do stuff like this and this? Because they're so different. There's no like template for exactly what serial killers like are, like their, how their past leads them to become who they are. It's tough to try to figure it out, but it is interesting to get in there.
Arthur Shawcross was an American serial killer who had a very bizarre story that is commonly used as an example of the flawed justice system in the United States. He was initially charged with a 5-year sentence after committing a number of crimes like arson and burglary, but he was released 22 months into the sentence after he rescued a guard from a prison riot. However, his crimes didn't stop after his release. In 1972, he murdered a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl, but surprisingly, he only served 14 years in jail for his crimes. He was released in 1987 after inexperienced prison staff stated that he was not dangerous. Less than a year later, Shawcross began killing his second series of victims.
I'm gonna go back in a minute. He has some things regarding blinking. I'm not sure if that's like a tic or what's going on there, but like I noticed he does like very exaggerated blinking, not just like what I'm doing now, but he's like almost like he's doing Morse code. Better make sure you don't got no cult members out there somewhere. That could have been a signal.
Dangerous. Less than a year later, Shawcross began killing his second series of victims. This time he murdered 12 people in less than 2 years. He was eventually caught in January 1990, and while he was in prison, he gave a chilling interview where he talked about being evil, his victims, and more. He describes a specific woman he killed, 59-year-old Dorothy Keeler, who Shawcross had paid to clean his house. It's chilling to watch him callously describe killing Dorothy, and it gives us a glimpse into his demented mind.
She used to live in my house, or my apartment, for a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a tic or something's going on.
Was she a friend?
She was, till she started stealing stuff out of the house. I asked her, why are you stealing? And she said, she needed money. And I said, you have a bank account. I was paying her $4.25 an hour just to clean the apartment.
So she was thieving from you?
She was taken from me and my wife, Rose.
Does that warrant killing her?
Huh?
Does that warrant killing her?
Well, to me it did.
She was found with her head removed. Is that
That's right.
How did that happen?
Easy, just pick it up and move it.
What, you just pull the head off?
Yeah, it was already off.
It could be a
Number
nervous
3.
tic or something.
Edie Edwards was an American serial killer from Ohio who killed at least 5 people in the span of 20 years.
Damn. Okay, well, as an Ohioan, I gotta take responsibility for this. We produced a lot of goddamn serial killers. I don't know what the hell's in the water up here, but there's been a lot of serial killers coming from Ohio. A lot of serial killers coming in around the 70s, too. I'm not really sure what exactly relates to that. I think it might have something to do with the understanding of mental illness at the time. Like, you don't really hear too much about serial killers nowadays because I think we understand mental illness more. We don't make it like taboo or like an idea that like you're an outcast for having mental illness, so you pretty much have to deal with it yourself. Nowadays, people understand and are willing to help people more often, so I think it gets addressed more. Maybe that's the reason. I think personally that's the reason why it's not as prominent as it was in like the 60s and 70s.
From the 70s to the mid-90s, he committed a number of crimes in his 20s and 30s that landed him in and out of jail, but in 1967 he was released, and he claimed that he was a reformed man, and even got married and had kids. Unfortunately, this wasn't true, as Edwards was consistently killing people while pretending to live a normal life. In 1977, he killed 2 people, and 3 years later he committed another double murder. And finally, in 1996, he murdered an adopted child that he had taken in as a part of an insurance scam. Many people stated that Edwards was involved in a number of other crimes because of how easily he got away with these ones. He wasn't apprehended until 2009, 32 years after his first murder. He was described as being conniving and charismatic and has been linked to a number of other murders, the biggest being a claim that he is the Zodiac Killer. As he was in Northern California at the same time, it is entirely possible that Edwards was one of the worst serial killers in American history. In 2010, a year after he was arrested, Edwards spoke in an interview about the incident regarding the adopted boy and actually stated that he deserved the death penalty. He stated that this was because of his guilt, but many people assumed it was because he was already dying anyways and he wanted to go in a more peaceful and public manner. He sort of got his wish, as he was given the death penalty, but he died in 2011 due to natural causes. This interview is a strange and haunting reminder of his crimes, and it's interesting to look at now for that reason.
The duffel bag is, for example, down here where my feet. And Danny is squatted down and he's taking his hand, he's going through the bottom of the duffel bag trying to find the cigarettes. And I'm standing right here. And I had the sawed-off shotgun, and I ease it out of the bag while Danny's down there looking. And I put the shotgun kind of right here over his shoulder, right down here, easy, and I pulled the trigger. And it was a single shot. And so I put another shell in it and pulled the trigger, and he fell on over. He had he did not know that he was going to get shot. I didn't threaten him in any way. I felt bad, but apparently not bad enough that I kept from doing it. He was stealing from my children, and I'm very close to my family in that respect.
Number 4. Richard Ramirez was an American serial killer who terrorized the city of Los Angeles in the mid-1980s. He killed at least 14 people and was dubbed the Night Stalker by the media. He gained a large following and a lot of interest after his arrest because of his looks and how young he was, but also because he took part in a number of interviews where he showed no remorse for his crimes. In one interview, he admits that he is evil, and while he rarely talks about his own crimes, he talks about the concept of murder and good versus evil on numerous occasions.
I don't get the whole thing with like people being attracted to serial killers. It's to me it's more odd than the serial killer themselves, because at least the serial killer can like point to certain mental illnesses that cause them to do certain actions. I mean, part of it is narcissism and like thinking of themselves above other people. I forgot the word, but it'll come to me. But there, when it comes to the fans of serial killers, I don't know what that is exactly, because that seems more like a societal thing more than actual mental illness. Like, it seems like there's like a culture around that, because it almost happens with every single serial killer that happens to get caught. I just don't know.
Crimes, he talks about the concept of murder and good versus evil on numerous occasions, and it gives listeners a glimpse into the depraved mind of Richard Ramirez.
Do you admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not? Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil.
What do you want the world to know about you?
The world has been fed many lies about me. I have read very few truths.
Who are you?
Just a guy. Just a guy.
Number 5. In 2009, a woman named Angela Simpson committed a horrific crime when she lured a 46-year-old handicapped man named Terry Neely into her apartment and tortured him for 3 days, until she eventually killed him. The details of the case are horrific. It consists of her pulling his teeth out, stabbing him over 50 times, and strangling him. She even placed a mirror in front of him so that he would see his own torture. It has been described as one of the most horrific murders in Phoenix history, and when she was eventually arrested and sent to prison for her crimes, she gave a number of disturbing statements and interviews regarding the murder. She stated that she killed Neely because he had apparently given information to the police in the past. She also stated that she had no remorse or empathy for her crimes, and that her only regret was that she couldn't kill more snitches.
Oh, I've heard about this. I didn't see this interview, but I heard something similar. This bitch, she pissed me off when I first heard about her. Oh, well, he snitched and I don't like snitches. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. You know you goddamn well the only reason why you attacked him was because he was handicapped. I guarantee if Mike Tyson became a snitch, your bitch ass would stay the fuck away. Like, this pissed me off so bad when I heard about it. Like, she acted like snitches was the real problem. Like, you know goddamn well it's because you knew you can get one over on him because he was in a wheelchair. If the dude was healthy and walking around, you wouldn't have done a goddamn thing. There's plenty of snitches that have working legs and working bodies that you haven't done a goddamn thing to, and I bet you if you were in the room with them, you would shut the fuck up and just like do nothing. I'm sorry I kind of got triggered on that, but I remember hearing this and I was like, it pissed me off so fucking bad, man.
Her interviews prove that she is one of the coldest killers of the last few decades, and that she is truly proud of her actions.
She's cold when the victim can't fight back.
Angela, I've seen previous interviews, and I've with the police, and one of our colleagues talked to you once upon a time. You're very upfront.
Pretty much.
About talking about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes.
You tortured him.
Of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to...
She's just pissed off because her hair is thinner than angel hair spaghetti.
You're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well,
what proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch.
He told you.
On many occasions. But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill.
How do you feel about spending the rest of your life in prison?
You know, I got a lot of family in prison, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I got many sisters in prison. I can't wait to see them. It's really not that much of a punishment to be sentenced to spend my life with my family.
It's again your candor.
How about solitary confinement, bitch?
Committed murders before, and usually they sort of prevaricate or they this or that. You're about as direct as it gets.
Right.
Why is that?
It's only fair. I expect you to be the same way.
Okay. Do you think that it was fair today? It was justice in that courtroom.
I bet if Ronda Rousey was a snitch, she wouldn't do a goddamn thing.
I don't.
Why?
I should have gotten the death penalty.
Did you want the death penalty?
No. I'd prefer to spend my life with my sisters, but yeah, I do believe that would have been justice.
And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you found this interesting or informative, don't forget to hit that like button. And I make similar videos to this every single week, so if you want to subscribe for that, you can. I'll leave my Instagram and Twitter, both of which are DeBurk321, down below if you want to go and follow me over there. But like I said, that's all for now. As always, until next time.
Alright, well, that was the video. 1 second, once this load up, I will go ahead and give more information on the channel. But if you guys want to get to the channel, there will be a link on the video right over here. The last 30 seconds of the video, you can click on it, it'll take you straight to the channel. You can watch all the videos, subscribe, like, everything else. And I will have the original link for this video in the description box down below. You can click on that. 1 second, let me see what the hell is going on. Okay. I will have a link for the original video in the description box down below. You can click on it in case you want somebody else to do a reaction to it, whether it's a family member or a friend or even another YouTuber. This way you can give them the original video without me talking and pausing over it. DeBurk says that he does videos like this once every week, so like I said, be sure to check out the channel if you did enjoy this. Looks like there's a bunch of other stuff. Okay, so he does have the links for the actual interviews themselves. So if you want to see the full interviews of any of these videos, because you're sick like that, be sure to click on one of the links in the description box on the original video, not this video, the original, and you can watch the full interviews. But yeah, if you have any other stories about whether it was parts of these interviews that weren't shown, the killers involved in interviews, or something unrelated to the video, so like a killer that did an interview that wasn't in the video, or a particular story that happened that wasn't featured, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. With that being said, that's been this video. So I'm DaVinci. Hopefully you've just been a little bit more enlightened, and I will give you the deuces, and I'll see you in a future video. Deuces.